Out here, a single bite from a Texas snake can send you straight to the ER. A lunge from an alligator can take down a full-grown adult. The scary part is, not all of them live out in the wild. They can lurk beneath murky waters, camouflage in dead leaves, crawl into your backyard, or lie perfectly still in the dark corners of the garage you walk through every single day. Most victims only realize the danger when it's already too late. In this video, we're going to uncover the 15 most dangerous animals hiding in Texas creatures that even the locals try their best to steer clear of. Western diamondback rattlesnake. No snake keeps Texans on higher alert than the western diamondback rattlesnake. It's the culprit behind many of the state's most severe snake bites every year. And just one bite is enough to turn a casual hike into a race against the clock. Its venom doesn't just cause agonizing pain, it destroys tissue, triggers internal bleeding, messes with blood clotting, and can even lead to the loss of a limb if not treated fast. What makes this snake especially dangerous is that it's found almost everywhere in Texas, from deserts and grasslands to ranches and suburbs. While that rattle on its tail is often seen as a warning, not every snake will ring the alarm before striking. Many victims only realize it's there when they're already in strike range. But even the most feared snake in Texas isn't the creature that haunts ranchers the most. Up next is a heavyweight contender that packs enough power to take down a grown adult without a single drop of venom. Feral hogs. If rattlesnakes terrify Texans with their venom, feral hogs strike fear with their sheer strength and unpredictable aggression. Texas is currently home to the largest feral hog population in the U.S., with an estimated million-plus roaming across forests, plains, and farms. A full-grown male can weigh over 400 pounds, sporting razor-sharp tusks and enough force to toss an adult human in seconds. Normally, they avoid people, but if they are cornered or protecting their young, they can charge at terrifying speeds with almost zero warning. More than a few hunters and farmers have been seriously injured after underestimating the raw power of these animals. The more alarming part is that their numbers just keep climbing, making encounters increasingly common. However, the next threat doesn't make a sound in the woods or the fields. It hides silently beneath the water. And sometimes, you won't even know you're swimming right alongside one of the world's most dangerous predators. Bull shark? It's not the great white, nor the tiger shark. It's the bull shark that really keeps experts on edge. It's one of the top 3 most dangerous sharks to humans in the world, notorious for its aggressive temper, bone-crushing bite, and ability to strike in shallow water. What makes it a unique threat in Texas is its ability to adapt to both saltwater and freshwater. They don't just hang out off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico, they can swim deep into estuaries and coastal river systems, meaning you don't need to be out in the open ocean to risk bumping into one. Murky water makes bull sharks even more dangerous since they rely on feeling vibrations to track prey, while humans can barely see them until they're way too close. Even though attacks in Texas are pretty rare, just knowing that one of the planet's deadliest sharks could be swimming right where families spend their weekends is enough to make a lot of people think twice before taking a dip. But even under the water, there's still a massive creature capable of waiting hours without twitching a muscle, just to unleash a single, deadly strike when its prey gets close enough. American alligator. You won't hear a roar, and you'll rarely see its whole body. That's exactly what makes the American alligator one of the most terrifying predators in Texas. They can lie motionless underwater for hours, with nothing but their eyes and nostrils exposed, just waiting for prey or anything else to wander too close. A full-grown gator over 13 feet long packs a bite force of thousands of psi, easily enough to crush a turtle shell or drag a deer underwater in seconds. Most attacks happen when people misjudge a safe distance, try to snap a photo, feed them, or swim right in their territory. While American alligators rarely actively hunt humans, once they bite down and trigger their infamous death roll. Your chances of breaking free are practically zero. The scary part is they live in plenty of East Texas lakes, rivers, and swamps, places where folks regularly fish, kayak, and hang out on the weekends. But the next creature doesn't need a 100-pound body to be an absolute nightmare. When the whole swarm gets angry, even running away might not save you. Africanized honeybees. They're only about the size of a fingertip, but they're responsible for a shocking number of ER visits across Texas every year. Africanized honeybees, often called killer bees, don't actually have deadlier venom than your average honeybee. What makes them incredibly dangerous is the way they attack. The second they feel their hive is threatened, hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of bees will explode out all at once and chase a target for hundreds of yards. Plenty of victims have suffered hundreds of stings before they could even find shelter. For a healthy person, a massive number of stings can cause venom toxicity, and for anyone with allergies, just a few stings can lead to life-threatening anaphylactic shock if they aren't treated immediately. The kicker is that many hives are found tucked inside house walls, attics, hollow trees, or abandoned structures, meaning you could easily trigger the entire colony without ever knowing they were there. However, our next predator doesn't need backup to be a major threat. It works alone, is practically invisible, and is enough to make even seasoned hikers constantly look over their shoulders. Mountain lion. Not many people in Texas have ever seen a mountain lion with their own eyes, and that's exactly what makes them so terrifying. As ambush predators, they rarely give away their position until they're close enough to strike. A full-grown adult can weigh over 200 pounds, leap several yards in a split second, and hit speeds of nearly 50 miles per hour in short bursts. When they attack, they usually go straight for the neck or the back of the head, ending the hunt before the prey even has a chance to react. Attacks on humans in Texas are exceedingly rare. But whenever they do happen, they showcase the overwhelming power of this big cat. What makes a lot of hikers nervous isn't actually spotting a mountain lion, it's the thought that one might have been watching them for a long time without them ever realizing it. They move almost completely silently, blending perfectly into the rocky, brush-heavy terrain of West Texas. But even a perfect predator like this doesn't cause as many human run-ins as our next creature, a snake that frequently shows up exactly where folks love to swim and fish. Cottonmouth or water moccasin. If you thought getting in the water was a good way to avoid venomous snakes, the cottonmouth is here to prove you wrong. This is one of the few venomous snakes in North America that spends most of its life around the rivers, lakes, swamps, and still waters of Texas. What freaks people out isn't just its venom, but how it reacts when it feels cornered, instead of immediately slithering away like a lot of other snakes. A cottonmouth will usually stand its ground, coil up, and throw its mouth wide open to flash that stark white lining the warning sign that earned it the name Cottonmouth. If you ignore that warning, the ensuing bite can cause severe swelling, tissue destruction, and a long hospital stay. A lot of encounters happen when folks are fishing, kayaking, or just strolling through the lakeside grass without realizing the snake is right under their feet. Yet, as scary as they are, the cottonmouth still isn't the snake sending the most people to Texas hospitals. That title goes to the next name on our list, a master of disguise that you could step right on before you even know it's there. Copperhead snake. The most dangerous thing about the copperhead snake isn't its venom. It's its ability to make you completely oblivious to its presence. Those coppery brown patterns on its back help it blend almost seamlessly into dead leaves, branches, and the forest floor. Even regular hikers can walk right up to one without ever spotting it, thanks to this top-tier camouflage. The copperhead is one of the most common causes of snake bites in Texas. The majority of incidents don't happen because this snake is actively hunting people, but because someone accidentally steps on it or puts their hand too close to its hiding spot. The venom is rarely fatal, but it can still cause excruciating pain, massive swelling, and tissue damage, forcing the victim into the hospital for observation. For young children or people with underlying health issues, the risk of complications is even higher. But if you think these tiny threats only live on the ground, the next creature will have you double-checking every dark corner in your garage, shed, or backyard woodpile. Black widow spider. Barely bigger than a coin, the black widow spider packs one of the most potent neurotoxins in the entire spider world. The scary part is how easy it is to accidentally brush your hand against one while cleaning out the shed, moving old firewood, or digging through a dark, rarely used corner. At first, the bite might just feel like a tiny pinprick, leading a lot of folks to brush it off as a normal bug bite. But a short time later, the pain can spread all over your body, bringing along severe muscle cramps, intense spasms, stomach pain, nausea, and a spike in blood pressure before anti-venom and modern medicine. The black widow's venom claimed more than a few lives. Today, fatalities are super rare, but severe cases still demand emergency treatment, especially for kids, the elderly, and anyone with a weakened immune system. However, the creepy thing is that our next spider is dangerous in a totally different way. It can bite you with practically no pain at all, only for the nightmare to start when it's already too late. Brown recluse spider. Unlike the black widow, the brown recluse spider doesn't rock any bright colors to warn you off. Honestly, that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. They love to hide out in shoes, clothes, cardboard boxes, sheds, or dark corners that rarely see the light of day, and a lot of folks only stumble upon them while cleaning or throwing on clothes that have been sitting around for a while. The most concerning part is that a brown recluse bite is usually practically painless at first. Plenty of victims don't even realize they've been bitten. It's only hours or even days later that the skin starts to turn red and swell up. And in some cases, it develops into a necrotic ulcer, literally destroying the tissue and taking weeks or even months to heal. While severe complications don't happen every single time, the fact that you might completely miss the window for early treatment is exactly what makes this spider so terrifying. But our next creature doesn't need to wait hours to do its damage. A single bite can quickly fry your nervous system and turn a brief encounter into a full-blown medical emergency. Texas coral snake. The Texas coral snake is hard proof that a flashy exterior is sometimes nature's ultimate warning sign. Those iconic red, yellow, and black bands make it easy to confuse with some harmless snakes, but mixing them up can have incredibly severe consequences. Unlike rattlesnake venom, which destroys tissue, the coral snake's venom is a neurotoxin that directly attacks the nervous system. If the dose is big enough and you don't get treatment fast, you could face muscle weakness, trouble breathing, and even respiratory failure. Luckily, this snake is pretty shy and usually tries to slither away rather than pick a fight with a human. But if you accidentally step on it or try to pick it up, your chances of getting bitten skyrocket, because they're pretty rare to see. A lot of people let their guard down when they spot this colorful snake in the wild. But our next threat doesn't pack any neurotoxins at all. Just one sting is enough to trigger intense pain that lasts for hours, and its tiny size makes it way too easy to miss. Arizona bark scorpion. Don't let its couple of inches size fool you. The Arizona bark scorpion is considered the most venomous scorpion in North America, and it still calls the hot, arid regions of West Texas home. During the day, they hide under rocks, in woodpiles, deep inside wall cracks, or even crawl into shoes and sleeping bags to escape the blistering heat. Because of this, plenty of folks only find out they're there after getting stung. The pain usually hits almost instantly, like an electric shock shooting through your skin before morphing into a burning, numbing sensation accompanied by muscle twitching. For most healthy adults, the sting is rarely fatal, but small children, the elderly, or anyone with a severe allergic reaction can face life-threatening complications if they aren't treated right away. The spooky part is that this scorpion can actually climb walls and cling to smooth surfaces, meaning they pop up in places you'd least expect. Our next animal, however, doesn't carry any venom at all. What makes it a growing concern for Texas families is the fact that it's steadily losing its fear of humans. Coyote. For decades, coyotes have made it a point to steer clear of humans. But in Texas today, that's starting to change. As neighborhoods expand deeper into their natural habitats, coyotes are showing up more and more in parks, golf courses, suburbs, and even strolling down city streets at night. What has experts worried isn't that they constantly attack people, but that many of them have lost their natural fear of humans after years of digging through trash or being fed directly. A full-grown coyote can hit speeds over 40 miles per hour, boasts a set of razor-sharp teeth, and is an incredibly smart hunter. Dogs, cats, poultry, and small pets are usually the first targets. But when they get too comfortable in urban environments, the risk of them biting a human goes up. That's exactly why Texas wildlife officials constantly urge folks never to feed coyotes and to keep a safe distance if you cross paths. Our next species, however, doesn't need speed or a crushing jaw to leave a lasting impression. Just one bite is enough to trigger pain that many victims describe as the absolute worst they've ever felt. Texas giant red-headed centipede, with a bright red head and a body that can stretch over 8 inches long. The Texas giant red-headed centipede looks like it crawled straight out of a horror movie. But what makes it truly terrifying isn't how it looks, but how it hunts. This centipede has the power to take down large insects, spiders, lizards, baby mice, and even small snakes using 2 venomous pincers right behind its head. When threatened or accidentally stepped on, it can bite multiple times in a row instead of just striking once and running. Victims usually describe the pain as a brutal mix of a burn and an electric shock, accompanied by swelling, burning heat, and aches that last for hours. For anyone prone to allergies, the reaction can be even worse and require medical attention, even though it's rarely fatal. This is definitely one arthropod that most Texans will go out of their way to avoid. But the final creature on our list is even scarier, mainly because running away is almost impossible once the attack starts. Imported fire ants. They don't have venomous fangs, massive size, and they aren't apex predators. But imported fire ants are one of the most common causes of animal-related injuries in Texas. Millions of mounds are scattered across parks, backyards, pastures, and empty lots, meaning just one careless footstep can trigger an entire colony to swarm and attack. The difference here is they don't just sting once and walk away. Fire ants use their jaws to lock onto your skin, pivot their bodies, and sting repeatedly, leaving the victim with dozens or even hundreds of stings in a matter of seconds. The burning sensation kicks in almost instantly, followed by itchy, painful pustules that last for days. For anyone who is allergic, a massive swarm of stings can trigger anaphylactic shock and become life-threatening if they aren't treated fast, because they are absolutely everywhere and attack in overwhelming numbers. Fire ants have become a painfully familiar nightmare for Texas families. But in nature, sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't the strongest creature, it's the one you don't even know is right next to you until it's too late. Out of these 15 animals, which one terrifies you the most? Is it the rattlesnake with its deadly venom, a herd of wild hogs charging with massive power, or the tiny creatures like spiders and fire ants that you could accidentally stumble upon right in your backyard? Let us know your pick down in the comments. If you enjoy documentaries that dive into the dangerous side of nature and want to see more videos about the deadliest animals on the planet, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next journey exploring the incredible secrets of the natural world.